Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And today I come to you poolside from my backyard, and it's a little bit windy, so hopefully I won't get too much interference on my speaker here. But I want to have a chat to you about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart, and it's a tricky topic. It's a real tricky topic, so bear with me. I want to have a chat to you today about basically the sort of communication that we have with the people around us, and whether or not being too open is good or potentially bad. So the sort of thing that I want to talk about today is whether or not we should be opening up and telling everybody about the challenges we face or the problems that we have in our lives, and whether or not that creates empowerment or it creates an opportunity for growth and development. And I've got to tell you, I'm pretty old-fashioned when it comes to these sort of views, because what I've learnt over time is that if you rely on people's gratitude, or if you're relying on people to feel sorry for you, to give you strength or to enable you to grow and develop, then chances are you're going to be disappointed, because life doesn't always work that way. I guess the big lesson that I've learnt in life is that strength attracts strength and weakness attracts weakness, and you've got to be lucky if you're weak to attract strength, and if you're weak to attract strength and strength to attract weakness. You need to be very, very lucky, because what tends to happen in life is that if you go out there and talk about your problems, talk about your challenges, what you're doing is you're signaling a weakness. Where is this leading us? I guess there's a part of me that thinks, or that believes, that people don't really care or don't really open up to helping people who have a weakness, who are a victim, because our psychology tends to label those sorts of people as problems. And for the people who want attention by posing problems, you could be on the wrong path, because what you're actually doing is you're labeling yourself in a certain way, and once you're labeled in a certain way, then people, or the general people, will put you in a category of a difficult and too hard to deal with. And instead of gaining an opportunity for help through gratitude, people will shy away from you. And it's just a natural tendency, unfortunately. I don't know if you agree with what I'm saying. I don't know if you experience what I'm talking about. But what they normally say, and as I alluded to before, is that people tend to look to help people where they can have some sort of future gain or benefit. And people rarely, I'm not saying always, but I'm saying people rarely offer help to people because of past benefits that they've received. Remembering what I'm saying, what I'm trying to clarify, and what I'm trying to talk about here is that people have a tendency to not respect what's been given or what's been offered in the past, but only look to the future, only look forward to what they can gain in the future from the relationships that they share with you and their social circle. So I guess the lesson here and the potential warning is be very, very careful with what you say and to who you say it to, what you share and what you talk about, because you could be creating a rod for your back, because if you show weakness, what you tend to do is you tend to bring out the wolf in the people around you. If you show weakness, you tend to bring out the lion, the tiger, in people around you. And you don't generally bring out the good part of them. You tend to bring out the bully and the person who wants to pick on you as opposed to help you. So I've talked about this on another Jim's 5am Club, and it's a Sun Tzu saying that if you're weak, you need to feign strength. And if you're strong, you can get by feigning weakness, because if somebody tries to attack you, you can rip into them. So that's the Sun Tzu sort of philosophy of meekness and humility. But unfortunately, life is pretty tough, and people are pretty mean. And you see what happens in schools, you see what happens on social media, and you see what happens in the world around us. That anybody who shows weakness becomes a target. So I know there's been a tendency for people to try and fly the flag and talk about their weaknesses, hoping that people will support them, hoping that people will get on their bandwagon and see them through a different light and through a different eye. But sadly, my experience in life is that people don't tend to respond to that all that well. They might say some nice words like, oh, you'll be right and everything will be fine and we're here for you. How many times do we hear that? We're here for you and everything will be okay. But they go missing in action. So, as I said, I'm old-fashioned when it comes to these sorts of things. So once again, my warning and my discussion and my observations in human behaviour is that if you have a problem, sometimes the best thing to do is to keep it to yourself and to share it with only with people who are dedicated to helping you. Don't go out there blurting out and telling the world that you've got mental health issues or you've got health issues. I remember my father saying to me, I don't want you to tell people that I'm sick because they can't help me. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want people to write me off. That's a very powerful statement, because amongst us Greeks, as soon as somebody cottons on to the fact that you have a weakness, then they write you off. Is that true or is it not true? Am I too harsh? Am I deluded in my observations? But that's been the message that I've grown up with. All the people that I know say that certain things you need to guard. You need to guard your reputation. You need to guard certain things and keep them close to you, because once it becomes public knowledge, just like what ICAC does with Gladys Berejiklian Once things become public knowledge and out there, then people become vicious. All of a sudden everybody gets on the bandwagon and everybody wants to take the moral high ground and everybody wants to have an opinion and rip into the person who really needs help, needs support in this hour of need. But as we said, it brings out the tiger, it brings out the lion, and it brings out the enemies that we have in our lives. It's only in tough times that you realise how isolated you can be, or how mean people can be around you. So my advice through the observations that I've received in life is to be very guarded with what you say and who you say it to. I've talked about this before on another couple of vlogs, but I'll keep on talking about it because it is critical. It is very, very important for all of us to understand that bullies pick on people who are weaker than them. They don't pick on people who are stronger. So be very careful that you don't trumpet, you don't advertise any weaknesses that you may have in terms of your physical health, your mental health, your relationships. And the best example that I had in life, out of all the people I know, is an aunt that I had in Greece, Thea Eleni. She always used to be talking about her husband in a positive light. You could see that she loved him. She talked about him in such a beautiful way when he was alive and also when he died. She never ever said anything that was negative, and δεν έδωσε ποτέ δικαίωμα. She didn't give anybody a right to say anything bad about her, about her husband. And this is an important lesson in life. Protect your sanity. Protect the important things that you have in your life, your relationships, and don't be too open to let everybody know about weaknesses. And the same goes with strengths. Don't go boasting there. My grandfather, Papuli Petro, would always say, don't boast about your children, don't boast about your wealth, don't boast about your lifestyle, because it's going to work against you. Let other people tell you about your children. Let other people tell you about how good your lifestyle is. Let other people trumpet your virtues and your values. But don't go out there blurting it yourself, because you'll become a target. It's just the way the world is. We can't change it. Some people have just got a switch that turns on when they can see weakness. Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation, because it is a difficult topic. It's a tricky topic, and one that even I find difficult to talk about. But there are some things that we need to talk about, and we need to pull out from the hole the snake. There's a Greek saying called "να τραβήξουμε το φίδι από τη τρύπα." So some things are white elephants that we need to talk about, and for young people, they need to be aware, to be trusting but also cautious with who they trust. So let's finish off once again. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, be guarded with what you say and who you say it to, because not everybody has your best interests at heart, but many people do. And you'll find out with time who those people are and where they sit on the spectrum of enablers or enemies in your life, or disenablers. Anyway, take care. From Jim. I'm in my backyard here. It's a beautiful afternoon, and I love having an opportunity to chat to you and talk to you about things which are important. and helpful for all of us in terms of our growth and development. Yassas, bye for now, from Jim and Jim's 5am Club. Yassas.